Have you ever heard this question?
So please, whatever.
The answer is a no-brainer, we all have. And for those who haven't, hey there my fellows skibbities, be sure to smash the sub button, touch the like button, jiggle the bell like there's no tomorrow. But it didn't used to be like this all the time. So let's take a look at the evolution of subscribing. As weird as it might seem, after that intro, not much has really changed in these last 20 years. Of course, there's still enough for me to make an 8-minute video out of it, but in comparison to, for example, the types of content we've seen across the years, it's not even close. That's because changes in the subscribing meta are always major and long-lasting, when on the other hand, popular content, for example, changes on almost daily basis. So let's start from the very beginning, in the no-sub era. This was the time when YouTube was just starting out, with only a few people posting videos. It would be a time when a lot of new legendary creators would start their content creation journey. Back then, they didn't even take into consideration making money off of this hack. They simply posted goofy videos that made them laugh. Slowly but surely, as YouTube's popularity grew, they started gaining an actual audience. Yet both the creators as well as the fans wouldn't pay too much attention to it. After all, the concept of followers or social media fame was still unknown back then. This, however, would change quicker than everyone thought, and we would enter the pretty please era. In 2007, just a little over a year after YouTube's initial release, something called the YouTube Partner Program would launch. It would allow the eligible creators to actually make money from the videos they upload. Currently, as I'm speaking, the partner requirements are 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 public watch hours in the last 365 days, or 10 million shorts views in the last 90 days. Yet, back in 2007, all it took was 10,000 lifetime views. And sure, getting 10k views back then was like getting a million now, but you have to remember that the algorithm was nothing even remotely close to what it is today. You also didn't have to care that much about the watch time, so uploading tons of simple, short videos could do the trick. But why exactly did subscribers still matter a ton, even though there isn't a single mention of them? See, as I said back then, the YouTube algorithm simply wasn't a thing. Today, we've got to think of eye-catching thumbnails, titles with popular catchphrases, SEO optimization, most optimal length, and so much more. When as in 2007, the algorithm would simply push out videos already doing well. Another very important part of being popular back then was the most subscribed tab. As you can already imagine, if people are still getting to know the platform and there aren't really any established creators, most would resort to watching stuff from there. After creators realized it, they suddenly began to ask for people to subscribe to their channels. It would still be super chill with everyone just throwing in a quick mention of it in the end of their videos. And people didn't mind it. After all, it was still the early times of social media with similar apps such as Facebook blowing up. Subscribing was like adding someone as a friend. It would stay like that for a very long time, about 10 whole years. In 2017, we would start seeing a new meta form. It would mark the beginning of the baiting era. The beginning of it in 2017 isn't as random as some of you might think. This was the time when a lot of kids like me would start getting unlimited access to YouTube and the internet in general. The platform got flooded with millions of new potential viewers. And us kids back then, we weren't the smartest tools in the shed by any means. People wanted to capitalize off of all the new users starting to join the platform. A lot of creators realized that just saying please wasn't enough. Not only because kids do everything in their power to never do what you ask them for, but also because a huge part of them had no clue what subscribing even was. I am a perfect example of that. I remember being young and just learning to use YouTube on my own and never knew what that red button did. I'd watch a Minecraft Let's Play and in the end the guy would say, remember to like, comment and subscribe. I used to always wonder what that last word means, until I finally found it. I clicked the red button and realized that it has changed absolutely nothing at all. Kids simply didn't care at all about subscribing to a channel. They just wanted to watch cool videos. So when people would say, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, blah, 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 that just wouldn't work. And yeah, why would they if all they care about is good content? But at the same time, why would they unsubscribe if they don't really know what it does? A race began of all the content creators that wanted to quickly grow and boost their channels. And the winning method would become known as sub-baiting. This would completely flip the way people asked for subscribers on its head. From politely asking to preying on the naivety of children. Every video would start with something made to grab your attention, and after a few seconds they would say something along the lines of
like and subscribe right now, or this spider will be under your bed tonight and it will eat you.
As you might have guessed, it worked flawlessly. 13-year-old me was absolutely shitting himself every video seeing that 50-centimeter spider that would potentially crawl into my rectum at night. Luckily, this would quickly evolve into another very popular method: bribing. The era of bribing was pretty short-lived, as soon would come one that we are still currently living in. But in short, the bribing method was super similar to the previously mentioned baiting, although this one was way less scummy and a bit more humane. Creators with morals decided that they can't be doing this lying bullshit and instead have to go with something equally as attractive and even better if it could target a larger audience. This would combine both the pretty please and the sub-baiting methods. Great example were Fortnite compilation channels. If they made a video about Ninja, they'd say be sure to subscribe if you really love Ninja. And the next day they make one on Daekwon and do the same exact thing: subscribe to our channel if you love Daekwon more than your parents. Some channels still use it to this day, but it's mostly seen with ones posting one specific type of content, for example Premiere Pro editing. As 2020 rolled around, the last major change would happen in the sub-meta. One single individual would popularize a completely new way of begging for subscribers, and that man was Dream. Dream would utilize a never-seen-before strategy that quickly started doing wonders for his channel. It was undoubtedly the most YouTube optimized out of all the ones I talked about today. He would combine two of the most persuasive things in the world into one: data and choice. This strategy was super clever. First, he would show a graph of people subscribed to his YouTube channel, and then reinforce it with that now famous line: remember, it's free and you can always change your mind later. That combination somehow turned everyone's brain into mush in seconds. All the right neurons got activated and all of a sudden he was gaining millions of subscribers monthly. Showing data is already one of the best methods of persuasion, but the second part was the true game changer. You have to remember that this started in 2020 when all the people wanted was to be free and do what they want. So instead of showing the graph and saying please sub to the channel, Dream gave his audience this imaginary power and freedom which they already had anyways, but they have never been told it in such a way. And lastly, I got one more thing to say. I might have lied to you a little bit. We aren't living in this era anymore. Honestly, it's super hard to describe to you what kind of era we are in right now. So instead, I'll just show you these amazing images I've made in Paint. Here was the Dream era, and this is a completely new one. Us, both viewers and creators, are currently here. I'd say we are like 70% into a new chapter of subscribing, as we don't really see that graph stuff I just told you about so often anymore. Yet, there still isn't anything that would define this next period. Funny enough, if I were to think of something, I'd say that the best method now is to not mention it at all. I started noticing a lot more channels just skipping that subject entirely. And the ones who don't just use methods we've already discussed today. So it's kind of a mix of every previous meta tactic as well as just skipping that topic fully. Who knows, maybe even someone like me could revolutionize subscribing again. Hey there people, I've got another little announcement to make. I am considering streaming on either YouTube or Twitch, as I tried multiple times to make TikToks or shorts out of the videos that I've put out, and yeah, that shit ended miserably. I haven't really thought this whole idea through that much, just the thing that I wanted to start streaming. So by the time next video rolls out, I should already have a good idea of what I want to do. So yeah, if you want to see some streams, if you like this type of content, then be sure to let me know in the comments, or I don't know, leave a like, whatever. And other than that, that's been me. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in a bit. Have a good one. Bye bye.